If you've been following my channel for quite a while, then you'll know that I'm absolutely obsessed with finding and showcasing some of the best secrets from the Super Mario Bros. Franchise. Recently looking at secret levels that are found across the various games. In a bit of a spiritual sequel, today I want to look at secret rooms that you can find within those levels, usually containing some sort of item or collectible you need to find, but also in some instances, leading to alternative hidden exits or even warp pipes. A few of these secrets you'll see here are classics that almost every diehard fan knows about, although some are so well hidden that I guarantee they will catch you by surprise. Oh yeah, before I get everything started, my name is Copycat, and if you haven't yet, then please subscribe to my channel, and hit that bell button to stay notified when I upload new videos. The very first game of the franchise is of course Super Mario Bros. For the NES, which started it all when it comes to secret rooms, specifically the ones found throughout the different pipes. In this entry, you'll just come across some extra coins or some sort of power-up, and missing them won't get in your way of 100% completing everything. Another secret type of area that showed up in this game that became a staple of the series are the warp zones, that allow you to take a shortcut from one world to the next. These can be found behind the flagpole pipe in the underground themed worlds of 1-2 and 4-2, where you need to get on the platform at the very top of the level, which allows you to gain access to this area. Here you need to pick the pipe to which world you want to go to, although beating the game in this way isn't exactly that satisfying. The next game in the franchise is Super Mario Bros. 2, that has a few secret rooms in this entry, starting with one that I actually talked about in my last video, and World 3-1's Hidden House. After entering the level's first door, you'll then come across a gigantic waterfall, where at first glance it looks like you need to progress upwards and avoid falling into the pit below. However, you can actually jump down the waterfall to discover a house at its bottom, where inside you'll find a magic potion that you can use with the pipe to warp to World 5. When using the magic potion, a sub-area door will open that allows you to collect coins and mushrooms inside. However, those aren't really hidden, as you'll probably stumble across them on your own. The last entry of the original NES trilogy is Super Mario Bros. 3, which has a wide variety of secret rooms and areas to stumble upon, starting with spots that can only be reached by using one of the flying base power-ups. These higher-up sections are scattered throughout the game's different levels and usually lead to being able to collect coins, one-up mushrooms, or power-ups, but also contain items that can be used in the overworld. One example of this is in the World 1 Fortress, where just before the first door, you can actually fly to the top of the level and access a secret door that leads to a room where you can collect a warp whistle. Probably the most secretive room in this entire game that also contains the whistle item can be found in World 1-3. Only by crouching on the specific white block platform will you'll eventually phase through to the back of the stage. Here, if you head towards the end of the level, then you'll instantly get transported to a toad house, where you can collect the item. By the way, getting these two whistles is the easiest and fastest way to warp right to World 8, by actually using the second whistle in the overworld warp map. Pretty crazy, honestly. Another type of secret area that appears throughout Super Mario Bros. 3 are the Coin Heavens, that are air-based sub-levels, which are only reached by finding the invisible magic note block and using it to bounce up in the air. In this cloud-based area, you'll find a collection of coins, and if you use a flying power-up, you can trigger a hidden block to get a one-up mushroom. An even more secretive type of area in this game are the hard-to-find power-up rooms that supply you with a rare item for your troubles. You can come across these rooms usually through an inconspicuous pipe or a very well-hidden door, where you probably have to do something very specific to even be able to reach them. Now, the only other thing I want to mention from this game is the secret room found in World 8-2, which can be reached by sinking into the quicksand that at first you'd think would lead to your death. Although you won't actually lose a life, and instead you'll travel to the bottom of the sand pit, where you'll find two pipes, one leading to a simple super leaf power-up, and the other leading to an array of coins. There's probably so many others I've skipped over in this game's long showcase, so please let me know in the comments below if there's something I should have included. Up next, we're gonna look at the true Japanese sequel to the original Super Mario Bros. Called The Lost Levels in North America, which actually came out years later with the release of the Super Mario All-Stars collection of games for the SNES. One strange thing about this title is its warp areas, as instead of all the pipes appearing together in a secret room, they actually show up individually in different secret exits, all leading to their own world. Even weirder is that in this game, you can come across wrong warps, which instead of sending you to a later part of the game, they actually force you to go backwards, which is a major inconvenience and one of the main reasons this entry is so tough. This is made even more confusing to me as these wrong warp areas are really well hidden in some really insane places, so when you stumble across them thinking it's a crazy secret, it will actually just end up making you really frustrated. Now, because of the extreme limitations of the original Game Boy system, there aren't really any secret rooms in Super Mario Land, other than the regular sub-level coin ones, of course, but there are a few areas within levels I want to mention, starting with the platforms you can reach using the hidden elevator blocks. These only show up in World 1-3 and 3-2, which when stood on, takes you to the top of the screen where you then can collect coins and even find a secret pipe to enter. There's also areas you can only reach depending on what size of Mario you're in, but this doesn't happen too often, and you're only missing out on a few coins. The game in this video that probably has the most hidden rooms / areas is Super Mario World for the SNES, mainly only because there are 96 alternate exits across the various worlds. These are usually achieved by finding the key and putting it in its keyhole, finding a secret door within a ghost house, beating a hidden boss, or by getting over the first goal to reveal that there's actually a second one behind it. Even better is that sometimes these exits act like a shortcut that lets you skip a large portion of the current world you're in. The best example of this is with being able to access the castle back door through the Valley Fortress by finding the key in the Valley of the Bowser 2 level. This very different way to get to Bowser skips the majority of the castle, bringing you to the steps of the battle. I remember finding the secret with my sisters as a kid, and we always loved how in-depth this game actually is. However, a set of secret rooms that I had no clue how to access until making this video is Chocolate Island 2's alternate areas that can occur depending on a few varying different factors. In the second part of the level, you'll see a Cape Feather section if you've collected 21 or more coins in the previous area. The only way to collect that many coins is by finding the secret block, then using it as a platform to quickly hit the coin block, which actually gives you more coins than if you just use the spring. You'll see a slope section with red paratroopas if you collected 8 or less, and you'll see a more regular section with Rexes if you collected 9 to 20 coins. The third part also has 3 different variations, now depending on how much time you have left on the timer when you get there. If there's 250 seconds or more, then you'll come across a section with several charging chucks and a key and a hole at its end. If you have 235 to 250 seconds left, then you'll find mini jagged platforms with several dino rhinos and dino torches. And finally, if you have 234 or less seconds on the clock, then you'll come across a land of floating mushrooms with not much else there. The fourth part of the level also has variations, but only 2 this time, all dependent on how many dragon coins you've collected up to that point. If you have 3 or fewer, then you'll get access to a section that's full of grassy platforms, full of fast-moving Rexes. Or if you have 4 or more coins, then you'll get to this section with rotating blocks and coin blocks that need to be triggered by a switch. I never ever knew this one was so complicated, and Nintendo really hasn't done much like this since. In the second installment of Super Mario Land for the Game Boy, there aren't too many secret areas to discover, other than the few alternate exits that are present through a few of the game's levels. These aren't necessarily insanely well hidden, or even require you to go far off the beaten path, but they at least do highlight a completely different part of the level that you're in. These exits are usually reached by skillfully platforming, by finding the right pipe, or using a power-up to help you reach hard-to-get places. Finding these exits do lead to either a shortcut, or a brand new level entirely that you wouldn't usually be able to reach, so they definitely are at least worth finding. The next game in the series and the first 3D game in the franchise is Super Mario 64 for the N64, that has many secret rooms that are scattered throughout the castle and its grounds. The first most people stumble upon is the Princess's Secret Slide, that's located through the top right door of the castle's main floor. In this small area, you'll see 3 stained glass windows that depict the princess, where you can actually jump through the one on the right to access this fun slide area. To obtain the stars here, you need to finish the course regularly, then finish it in under 21 seconds, which can actually be a bit difficult. Another hidden castle room that's pretty hard to find is the Tower of the Winged Cap, as the only way to get to it is by standing on the mural of the sun in the castle's main floor, then use the C-stick to look upwards directly where the sunlight is coming from, aka the sun. You'll then get transported to this area, where you can find the red switch, which will now allow you to collect the Wing Cap power-up within certain courses, giving you the gift of flight if you triple jump. There's a couple other of these places in the game, like the Metal Cap Cave, which contains the Metal Cap switch found through Hazy Maze Cave, and the area under the moat, which contains the Vanish Cap switch, but the Wing Tower is the coolest, and definitely the most hidden. One extremely hidden room that you can actually find within a level is Womp Fortress's hidden wall, that can be found at the base of the tower. If you go up to the specific part of the wall and punch it, then it will actually break away, revealing a small room with a 1-up mushroom, which is pretty weird. In the Big Boo's Haunt course, you can use the Vanish Cap and jump through the Boo painting near the top of the mansion to find the gigantic Mr. Eyes. This is actually the 6th star of the level, that can be achieved by running quickly around this disturbing foe to defeat it and gain your prize. Another great secret area within a course would have to be Tall Tall Mountain's Secret Slide, found through a fake wall very close to the Fwoosh on the cliffside. This slide is much harder than any seen previously in this game, but isn't impossible to complete and is still fun. The final and probably best secret area in this game is the castle's roof, that becomes accessible by cannon that opens up once you get all 120 stars. Up here you'll find 3 1-up mushrooms, a red wing cap block, and Yoshi, who gives you max lives and a special triple jump that lets you get higher and farther. Wow. The next game in the series is Super Mario Sunshine for the GameCube, which of course has hidden rooms in the form of secret levels, found throughout the different courses. Now these aren't necessarily the most hard to find areas in the entire game, but are at least placed off the beaten path in spots that are a bit inconspicuous. These secret rooms are really just sub-areas that offer some sort of platforming challenge, that usually make you remove your FLUDD to make things more difficult. One collectible from this game that definitely requires you to access some pretty hidden areas are blue coins, where there's 240 to find across the different worlds. Some of these can only be accessed by using certain methods like using your FLUDD, but after a bit of trial and error, you should get to them. The only other relatively unknown area I want to mention is the Delfino Airstrip, that can only be accessed by boat for 10 whole coins, wow. Here you can collect a shine by gathering all 8 of the red coins, and you can get a blue coin by melting this block of ice. Mario will return to his 2D platforming roots with New Super Mario Bros. For the Nintendo DS, which brings in similar secret rooms from previous games in the series, in underground coin areas, and cloud-based coin heavens. These are a bit more elaborate than what we're seeing in past entries, and offer way more goodies, which include things like star coins, power-ups, and 1-up mushrooms. Another type of hidden area in this game is its secret exits, usually leading to an extra level, or one of the world's warp cannons. Some of these exits are almost impossible to find without some sort of guide, which isn't a bad thing as it does force the player to return and keep playing to find it. However, I do dislike the instances where you have to be powered down in mini Mario form, so you can enter the tiny pipes, as it is a bit of a pain to play the game this tiny, as Mario's movements feel awkward, and you will die in one hit. One entry that's absolutely jam-packed full of secret areas to be discovered is Super Mario Galaxy. Although, most of them just lead to a few star bits, a couple coins, or a fun Easter egg. One that instantly comes to mind is the hidden train in the Toy Time Galaxy, found in a small nook underneath the ramp. I'm not quite sure of the origin or purpose of this Easter egg, but someone took the time to put it there, so it's definitely worth mentioning. Another that I can think of is the incredibly secret spot found within the volcano in the melty molten galaxy, where if you drop down instead of using the Sling Star, you'll find this area that you didn't think you could get to. Here you'll just come across a few star bits and another Sling Star so you can escape to the next planet, which does feel a little underwhelming, but that's okay. The only other thing from this title I want to mention are the underground rooms that can be found through pipes, of course, usually pretty well hidden within their galaxies. These rooms usually contain a question mark coin that can cause a variety of things to happen, like spawn music notes that need to be collected, simply just giving you a power-up, a 1-up mushroom, or even just star bits. Some of these do have some unique features that do make them interesting to figure out, and gives you something else to do, even though this game is already gigantic. The second game in the new Super Mario Bros. Sub-series is the entry that came out for the Wii in 2009. That doesn't really stray too far away from the regular formula that we're used to, but does at least add 4-player multiplayer. In terms of secret areas, there are of course the familiar sub-areas found through a pipe or up a vine for you to stumble upon, which are a little bit more elaborate in this title than what's usually expected. This game also has secret exits leading to extra levels and warp cannons, of course usually found through pipes or ghost house doors. Some of these are really well hidden, so once again it will take you a while to discover them without a guide. One of the most insane things about the space-themed sequel of Super Mario Galaxy is that there's a whopping 242 Power Stars to find. Some of which of course are very well hidden within the respective galaxies. A few examples of some good ones include the hidden star of Fluffy Buff Galaxy, where you need to go down the secret pipe so you can collect 100 coins in the level and feed the Luma to open a path to the star, the gear mode challenges that require you to hit bombs at certain targets, scaling up the frozen waterfall in the Cosmic Cove Galaxy to come across a spot where the star is encased in ice, the out-of-the-way wall jump area in the Honey Bloom Galaxy, the hilarious but somewhat difficult chimp skating and coin challenges, and the place beyond the Warp Star where you can collect the secret star in the Boo Moon Galaxy. I'm sure there's several more that I might have left out, only because there's so many to go through, so if you know of one that I should have included, then please let me know in the comments below. The only other thing from this game that I want to mention are the Comet Medals, that are pretty well hidden collectibles that force prankster comets to appear. Finding these will usually take you off the beaten path and require you to platform in a specific way to get them, which honestly just makes the game better as it adds another factor for exploration. The next game in the series is Super Mario 3D Land for the 3DS, which reinvented the usual 3D gameplay to now be more in line with the previously seen 2D based platforming. One thing in this entry that can be accessed through hidden areas are warps, found only in Worlds 1-2 and 4-2, which actually are hard to find. In 1-2, you have to use these hidden blocks in order to jump to the platform that's hidden out of sight above you, allowing you to get past the flagpole pipe. Here you'll find an orange pipe that you can enter, which will actually just take you straight to World 2. In World 4-2, there's also a warp pipe which can be found by using the bounce block and a few wall jumps to get past the final pipe and onto the hidden platform. This time, taking the orange pipe will warp you directly to World 5, where I guess skipping a bit of this world is nice, but definitely a bit unnecessary. The only other thing that's worth showcasing from this entry are Star Medals, which is a collectible that is found throughout every single level of the game. These are similar to Dragon Coins from Super Mario World or Star Coins from New Super Mario Bros. In terms of collectability and their location within levels at least. Getting these coins is also necessary for unlocking certain levels, so getting and finding them doesn't seem that arbitrary. The next game we're gonna look at is New Super Mario Bros. 2, which is actually the third game in that specific sub-series, kinda confusing, released for the 3DS in 2012. This title is extremely similar to the two that came before it, as there are hidden exits that lead to warp cannons, bonus levels, and mushroom houses, while still holding the same classic Mario-based sub-areas. Honestly, this is my least favorite Mario game of all time due to the incredibly simplistic level design, which leads to easy gameplay and not that many secret areas to come across. The last of the new Super Mario Bros. Games was the Wii U version that was released in 2012. Of course, containing hidden exits leading to warp cannons and brand new levels in mushroom houses, pretty much the same. I'm not gonna lie, after playing a version of this game for the 4th time, finding these alternative paths are a little bit easy. But some of the most notable tough ones include the really hidden pipe in the Layer Cake Desert's spike sprouting sands, going past the first door to find the secret one in Soda Jungle's Ghost Labyrinth, or getting to the tucked away pipe behind the Stone Eye in Soda Jungle's Deep Sea Ruins. Next up, we're going to look at Super Mario 3D World, which is a spiritual successor to Super Mario 3D Land, but with much grander levels with many more secret areas as the game really focuses on exploration. One collectible that makes you search thoroughly through each level for are stamps, that give you a neat sticker for your collection book, and are needed in order to fully 100% the game. Green stars are another collectible that can be found in some really secretive places, with several needing to be gotten in each level, sometimes found within mystery warp boxes that require you to solve specific puzzles to acquire them. These can also be found at times outside of levels within overworlds, which I guess aren't as secretive, but still act as a nice bonus room. One area that's extremely secretive that gives you tons of goodies are the gold coin rooms, that are found through gold pipes. The only other very hidden pipes that you can come across are warp pipes, found only in Worlds 1-2 and 4-2. In 1-2, you need to power up in Cat Mario form and find a section of the wall near this clear pipe that you can actually climb up to get to a tucked away platform. This just lets you go directly to World 2, again, like in the sub-series first entry. In World 4-2, you also need to be powered up in Cat Mario form, so you can climb up the wall to find an alternate path leading to the warp pipe. This then lets you go straight to World 5, once again, similar to the previous entry. This entry also has coin heavens that are found through cloud cannons, which are just nice little bonus areas that of course also contain coins, power-ups, and green stars. These replace super note blocks from the 3D Land entry, which I won't lie, is a little bit random. The only other thing from this game I want to mention are cat wheels, that need to be activated by quickly swiping at the wooden wheel, which causes the platform you're on to raise or lower, allowing you to get to a secret area. This usually just leads to green stars or some other goodie, and honestly I dislike how you need the specific power-up to activate them, but whatever. We now come to what's probably my favorite game in the entire franchise, Super Mario Odyssey, which is definitely the most open world experience the mustachioed main man has seen to date, meaning there's so many secret areas here that I honestly can't go through them all. Some of my favorites include the entirety of the deep woods of the Wooded Kingdom, found by jumping into the void, which you think would just kill you. Here there are several power moons for you to find, and an angry T-Rex that you can capture and use to find even more secrets. The Seaside Kingdom is also tons of fun to play in, as once you go under the water, you can come across dozens of caves that usually contain a moon for you to collect. By far one of my favorite hidden rooms is the one under the sand in the Sand Kingdom, which isn't even that evident at all, other than a very small slit in the wall. This is honestly about 1% of all the hidden areas in this game, so I definitely suggest putting your absolute favorite in the comments below. This entry also sort of has warps in the form of kingdom paintings that usually allow you to access one earlier than you should, leading to a hidden area of that world. This area is supposed to be cut off from the rest of the level, or usually is, but that hasn't stopped glitch hunters and exploiters from finding ways of getting around this, and honestly a few of these methods are absolutely nuts. Alright, that's gonna be it for today's video guys. I really hope you did enjoy this one. If you did, please leave a like, comment below what you thought about it, and of course subscribe to my channel. Also, please go follow my Instagram at Copycat Gamer. There I upload some cool clips and items from my collection that you won't see anywhere else. Hope you guys all have a good day, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye!